What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge Lights and Gear. We got another review for you today, and it's going to be on a flashlight today. And today we're going to be looking at the COAST KL30R. Guys, this is a little EDC keychain style type of a light. Got this in a few days ago. Been carrying it around actually quite a bit. Ever since I got it, I've been carrying it, and I'm come to really kind of dig this little light. I think it's a pretty cool little light. In its size range, it has a little bit more features than some other lights that I've gotten that size range tend to offer. A lot of lights in this size range just have, you know, your regular flashlight. Well, this one has like a couple little floodlight modes to it, and also a UV light for looking for scorpions, checking IDs, and checking your money and stuff like that. So you kind of get a little bit more in this package than you would say like a little micro stream light or something like that. So has a lot of really kind of cool little features to it, and it's actually surprisingly bright for its size as well. But let's crack into this box real quick and kind of show you how it came packaged. The only thing I will say is, like I said, I have been carrying this the last couple of days, so I did put a little paracord lanyard on there, as you can see, but it came nicely packaged in this box right here. Open it up, there's a nice spot for it. If you didn't see my kind of what did Coast send me video earlier, go check that video out. I kind of showed, I opened this up on that video, but got this piece, pull this out, and you have your USB-C cord here. One thing I will point out is if you do not have another, it is USB-C to USB-C, right? So you have that there, USB-C, USB-C, but it does come with this attached USB regular adapter. So that way, if you don't have another USB-C to USB-C, you can always use the USB, regular USB to USB-C. Anyway, that's a whole lot of USBs, right? So that comes in the box. So you got your charging cord there. If now with the newer iPhones and as well as with the Androids, if you have your phone charger, they're all USB-C. It'll plug into this light and charge it up just fine. So this is just a backup if you need it. Maybe keep that in your vehicle or something like that. Most of us usually have a phone charger or something around. So USB-Cs are becoming so common now. It's nice to see that all the flashlight companies are switched over to that. You know, it's a better charging system, I think. You also have your kind of instruction manual here, right? It kind of goes through all the modes and how to cycle through them and things like that. Now, one thing I'll point out with this light, and I guess you could say this with almost any light, is there's differences between lights, guys. You have lights that are designed to be tactical, duty, military, emergency response type use, and then you have kind of your everyday average working person type of lights, okay? And there's always a difference between the two, and I want to just point that out, because some people will say, well, why doesn't this light do this or that? Well, I don't think this light isn't designed to be a tactical duty use light, okay? I just don't think it is. This is designed to be that kind of everyday carry. It's in your pocket, you drop your keys at the movie theater behind the seat, you're looking for it type of light. You're not using this to blind a assailant or something like that right away, and things, you know, where you can smash that button super quick and, you know, whatever tactical stuff people do. This is just meant to be kind of your everyday light. You lost something behind the seat in your car, or, you know, your things like that, right? This isn't supposed to be a tactical light. So when I'm talking about this light, I'm not talking about it in a tactical sense. I'm talking about it in this is what an everyday person's normally going to carry. This is what, you know, your wife, girlfriend, mom, grandma, or whoever's carrying on their keychain, or you're carrying in your little EDC pouch, or it's just going to be for everyday use stuff, guys. So don't think of this as a tactical light, because that's not what it is. And for what this is, I think it does a really good job. This does a good job of being a good EDC light. So far, in the few days that I've been carrying it, I've used it quite a bit, actually. I've been having fun with it. I think it works very well. So you got a really nice little package here. Okay, you have a nice pocket clip here that actually doubles. So one, it's a pocket clip, or it has this where it folds back on itself and you can attach it to your hat. So you can make this into a makeshift headlamp, if you will. The little floodlights here, I call them floodlights, but what do they call these on there? The area light, I don't know, area light, floodlight, it's kind of the same thing. These work exceptionally well for, you know, kind of big overall type of things, and the UV lights actually work really well as well. I do wish the UV lights were a little bit more powerful, though. I do have another UV light where it really projects a beam out, but it is it's not an area light one, it's more of a projected beam UV light, so it's kind of hard to compare them, but I do wish the UVs were a little brighter. Whenever you're doing stuff with the UV, you do have to be a little bit closer to the object for it to work. But and I'll try to show that to you tonight when we do the nighttime testing here in the backyard. So I can show you guys exactly kind of what this lights up and stuff like that. So, and I am going to be testing all my lights out when I review them. I'm going to go over the tabletop here, and then we will switch over to the nighttime video where I will be showing you guys all sorts of stuff in my backyard here, the flower beds, kind of lighting stuff up to give you an idea of how the light works. So I know I'm kind of rambling on here, but so far this light's worked very well. You have two mode buttons here on it, right? You have a top and a bottom button, as you can see there. The top button will cycle you through your regular flashlight. So if you turn it on, it automatically turns on to medium, okay? You press it again, it goes to high. Press it again, it goes to low. Now you're like, okay, well, what about turbo mode? To hit turbo mode, you press and hold the button down. You'll see it get brighter right now. See how that's going to take you to the full potential of the light. And once you let go, it kind of dims back down to the last setting that it was on. Press it one more time, turns the light off. So you do have to push the button every time to get to the intended light usage that you want. Okay, so if you want high, you got to click, that's medium, high. Now you're on high. If you want to go low, click one more time, you go to low. So you got to click, cycle through to get to the lights. And now if you want to go directly to turbo, this is going to be kind of your momentary light right here, right? If you want to, you just need a light on right now, you need it as bright as you can breathe, you just press and hold that button down and it automatically goes to turbo mode, and you just hold on to it and you can do whatever it is you got to do. Turn it off, even from the off position, you press and hold it down and boom, it comes on. Now there is a little bit of a slight delay when that happens. I will tell you right now, the light is off. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. I'll press it down and you'll see it takes a split second for the light to kind of power up. 3, 2, 1, go. So you notice that little bit of a delay. So there is just a slight delay there for it to get to its full turbo mode. Now, speaking of the modes, let me let you guys know what kind of lumens we're working here. On medium, you're looking at 120 looms with a beam distance of 57 meters. And this is going off the specs on the box, guys, okay? Runtime is 3 hours. High, 285 looms, 86 meters for an hour and 30 minutes. Low, it's 16 looms, 19 meters, 16 hours. And turbo, it's 500 looms, 128 meters distance. And they don't give a runtime on the high. I think the turbo mode will always kind of shut off after a certain amount of time to prevent overheating to protect the light. So those are kind of, again, like your modes. You got medium, 120, high, 285, low, 16, and turbo, 500. All right, so that's your first set of lights right here on the top, your regular beam light. Next, we're going to go to the area light. So the area light works in the same way. You press the second button right below once, you're going to turn the first area light on. Now that first one is going to be low at 35 looms for a 7-meter distance, and that will run for 5 hours and 45 minutes. You press it one more time, it goes to, oops, I turned it off. There's low, high. High is 110 looms for 13 meters, 3 hours and 15 minutes. And then you press it one more time, and you got the UV light on. Now it's kind of hard to see that the UV light's on because it's daytime, but there's 2 little lights in there. That's the UV. There's no rating for the UV light. It doesn't tell you how bright it is. It doesn't tell you how long it will run for. So I don't know. That's just not a spec they have on the box. This little guy is rated for an IP54 rating, so it is a splash resistant, dust resistant. I wouldn't say go swimming with this light. It's not that waterproof. You do have your USB-C port is right here, so you just kind of pull this little tab right here. Let me see. I've got big mongoloid fingers, guys. There it goes. I got to be careful. I always feel like I got to be careful. So you pop that out, and there you go. There's your USB-C, and you're ready to go. Pop that back in, you're good to go. I would be careful taking that little rubber piece out. There is a chance you could tear it or rip it off, so just be careful when you're taking that off. But guys, it's overall, this is a pretty cool, snazzy little light. I like the different options that it has. I do like that I can press this and automatically go into turbo mode. That's, you know, honestly, that's probably how I use it most of the time. It's just like, hey, I need light right now. Here we go. Let's go. Got it. Good. Let's go. You know, this does, I mean, super cool light, man. I think it, for the price that you're paying for this, I believe these are coming in at like, I don't want to misquote. Anyway, I'll have a link to the Amazon for this or whatever, so you guys can check that out. I don't want to misquote the price on it, but it's not super expensive. And I think for what you're going to pay for this, it's a pretty good deal. Are there other like more tactical lights out there in this size range? Yeah, probably. But you know, that's not something everybody always needs either. You know what I mean? So that's just one of those kind of things where it's like, what do you need the light for? You know, and if you need something super tactical, do you want something that's smaller? Do you want something bigger? You got to ask yourself those questions. You know what I mean? And I don't even really like to use the word tactical. Is kind of getting overplayed anymore. You know what I mean? But it is, I guess, it's kind of the term that we use. But you know, this is a pretty solid little light. I will say that this body is kind of plastic. It's not metal, but it feels very solid. It feels thick. It doesn't feel like it's going to crack or break easily. Like I can't really flex it. I just turned the light on. I can't really flex it, pushing it either way. So it's pretty darn solid. This little tab up here where you can put your lanyard, it's pretty thick. I don't think you're going to break that off if you're yanking, you know, your paracord. You put a little lanyard on here, yank it. I don't think you're going to have an issue with that. So, I just kind of put this on here, so if I wanted to carabiner clip it to my bag or something like that and run the area light, I can. So, cool. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of the tabletop on this. I mean, there's not like a ton of features to go over on this thing, so it's not like this is going to be long. I did just want to give you a quick overview of it, and stay tuned because next time you see me, it's going to be dark out here. Oh, I guess I should show you what I'm going to be lighting up, right? So, what we have here in my backyard, let me pick this up so you guys can see me up close. Hey, how you doing? So I was behind my filming bar. So what I do for my night videos is we're going to flip this camera angle around, guys, and you're going to see my backyard. So this is my backyard. From where I'm standing all the way to the far corner where you see those two big trees, there's a set of chairs right there, okay? That is 60 yards, okay? From where I'm standing to there, 60 yards. So as we come around here to the side of the yard, we kind of walk this out. When you get to, like, say that bucket right there on the ground, that planter, that's, I believe that's like 20 yards, and then it kind of goes out. And what I'll do is I'll kind of show the light from here, like what can you see on each mode, like kind of how far you can see it, right? Kind of going along this farm, you know, this tree line here, or flower bed line, not a tree line. You know, I'll kind of say, hey, like on medium, this is, you can see these rocks right here, you can see this, you know, and then we might even take a walk over to the trees over here. It's pretty dark in there, so we'll see, like, hey, if you're up here, like, what can you see? So I kind of want to just show you, you know, with this 500 looms, are we going to see 60 yards? Yeah, probably not. But, you know, we're going to see what we can see all the way up to here. Like I said, where that planter is, that's about 20. So this tree right here, we'll try to light up the branches in this tree, things like that. So that way you guys have an idea of what you can see distance-wise with this little light, okay? All right, so stay tuned, guys. Once it gets dark, we're gonna finish up this, we're gonna, you know, keep this thing going. All right, we'll see you in a minute. What's up, everybody? Hey, it's getting dark, or it got dark, and you can see I got my lights on above me here, my little testing gazebo area, and we're gonna be, again, going over the light capabilities of this KL30R rechargeable light from Coast Lights. And we're going to go through the first set of modes, which will be the standard light modes, right? So again, we're going to turn it on. We got medium, high, moonbeam, or super low. And then if we press and hold, it goes turbo. Ooh, right? So we got it off. So let's get at this right here. We're going to flip this around. I did put a white propane tank at 20 yards out, and then there's a red bucket at 40 yards out. Okay, so that way it kind of gives you guys some reference points on distances, and so we can kind of light it up, all right? So, ooh, knock my camera over. We're going to flip this around right here. All right, there's my backyard. I do have some lawn lights or landscaping lights that still work way over there in the corner, but that's probably about 50, 60 yards away. So, first mode, like I said, we're going to go turn it on. Make sure we're on the right one here. We are on medium mode at 120 looms. So you can see the white tank there, and I don't know if you can see that red bucket over there. It's barely visible to me, but I can tell there's something there. You can see these tree branches up here in the tree pretty good. Come over here, see some of this stuff. Hey, it's doing a pretty good job lighting up everything right here on low mode or medium mode. So we go to high mode, we're going to kick it up to 280. Apparently, I keep turning it on in the wrong mode. So, all right, so here's medium right here. Again, check it out, works pretty good. Either that or I'm pushing the button too hard and turning it off. High mode, there we go. All right, so then in high mode at 285, you could definitely see the white tank really well up into these trees. Pretty good, pretty good. The red bucket's a little bit more visible out there. You can kind of light up. Can I see all the way to the 60 yards? I mean, I could tell obviously there's, I don't know, some trees and maybe some bushes over there, but I can't really make anything out. And then over here, we got this stuff over here. So up close, pretty, I mean, up out to 20 yards, you're definitely going to be able to see some stuff and get it going on, right? Let's kick it over to the moonbeam mode. Oh, turned it off. So here's the moonbeam. The moonbeam, you can barely light up the tree branches. You can't really see a whole lot. So this is definitely going to be used for your admin type of stuff up close, you know, where you're trying not to blind yourself out. Let's kick it up to turbo here. Pressing on, now there's turbo. So now you can definitely see the white tank. The bucket is definitely illuminated. Out there to 60 yards where the trees are in the very corner, you can tell there's trees. I can't necessarily see the seats that are out there though, but definitely lighting up. You can see the tops of the trees up there. That's pretty good for 500, right? I mean, that's pretty nice. I can't be mad at that, right? So there we go. Those are the, you know, the regular modes. Now we're going to kick on. I'm going to pick up the camera here and we're going to turn the area light mode on. So this is the very first lighting setting. So this is my testing area that I use for knives. Let me get this camera down a little bit lower. So I'm kind of lighting it up. If I take the light away, there is a little bit of residual light from my gazebo. So let's move over here where it's a little bit darker. A little darker here. So this is the first area light mode. It's doing a pretty good job. I mean, it's not super bright, but it's, hey, I can tell what's here. I can tell there's a little windmill here. I can tell I got a plant here, bushes, trees, you know. Coming over here, got the planter bucket. I would be able to walk around and see my immediate surrounding area fairly well, okay? So that's pretty good. So let's kick it over to the high level. All right, there's high. So high is definitely blasting out a little bit more light. You can see here, kind of come back around to these bushes and trees. You can see the windmill here. Oops, sorry, I kicked my tripod that's still extended. So can I come in here and do some light searching here and not really give too much of my position away? I believe so. I mean, this isn't blasting the light way out there. We could come up, you can see. It's just giving a nice little flood spill, so it's pretty nice. Come over here, we can see that there's a deer or something over here in the bushes. And there it is. So you can tell, you can come up and see him right there. So that's a pretty nice little effect. Now, let me kick over. You know what? We will do the UV light inside real quick, but let me turn this off. Ooh, I'm blinding myself. Okay, now I am going to kick it on turbo here real quick. Again, this is just the quick. I want you guys to see the delay that happens. I'm going to light up the red bucket right here. So I'm going to press it in 3, 2, 1. There. Okay. So you saw how fast how long it took for that to kick in. 3, 2, 1. There you go. So there is that little bit of a delay. I don't know if you can hear the click, but there's like maybe half a second. 3, 2, 1, 1 1000, maybe a second delay. So you can see that. So sorry, my neighbors are watching the Super Bowl. Anyway, so let me get inside, get a $20 bill, stuff like that. That way we can check out the, light myself up here. Ooh, so we can, this is the area light, by the way, on low mode. Really lights me up pretty good. So hold this down here, blind myself. So I'll get in there with a $20 bill, and then we'll show you guys that the UV light works and stuff like that, and then we'll wrap this up. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. Yeah, I couldn't find a 20, but I did find a 10, and that's going to work just fine. So let's kick on this UV light. You guys can see here. Now, you guys can see that this UV light works because it's lighting up the red line in the $10 bill. And on different bills, the line is in different places. I think on the 20, it runs right here. On the 100, it runs down here. And you can tell that there's, I don't know what else is on this bill, but you can see that something else got on there at some point in time. But it's kind of cool because you can see, ooh, I don't know where this $10 bill came from, but ooh, I don't know. But you can see that the UV light works. It does what it's supposed to do. I would say the only thing is you do have to be a little bit closer. Like this is, I'm about where the camera is right here. You get a little farther away, it gets harder. You do have to be a little bit closer to the light to, whoa, blinded you guys out there, to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So let's pick this up. Whoa, come back to me. Hey, how you all doing? So, guys, this COAST KL30R is a very cool light. I actually like this thing a lot. I think it's a very good, usable EDC light. Do I wish the UV was a little brighter? Yeah, but I mean, it's not a deal breaker. Honestly, at the end of the day, how often do I use a UV light? Very rarely. But it would be nice if it was just a little bit more powerful. So, you know, like I said, I'm always going to give you guys my honest opinion on these. The area light works great, you know, for like those smaller admin tasks. The turbo mode, to be able to just press and hold down this button and go straight to turbo, just, woo, you know, it works perfectly fine. It's good for almost everything I need. 500 lumens isn't really going to blind me out most of the time anyway, but you know, you can cycle through to the lower beam modes if you need to. So, and overall, it's an easy light to use. It has a nice clip. You can remove this clip, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but if you don't like the clip, you can take this clip completely off. But I don't see a reason why you would need to, but maybe you have one. But overall, guys, I think, you know, like I said, I don't think you really go wrong with this as just an EDC. Carrying your pocket light, a little backup light, emergency light, maybe keep it in your car, you know, purse, you know, fanny pack, sling bag, whatever. It wouldn't even hurt to have multiple of these, keep them in like various vehicles and maybe different areas of the house. Because for the price and what it can do, it's not really is a really good light. So I like this thing a lot. I'm going to be definitely carrying this around pretty often. So I think it's a pretty cool light for what it is. So there it is, guys, the COAST KL30R. And they do make a version of this that is, instead of the ultraviolet light, it has the red light. So if you don't need ultraviolet at all, you maybe need more of just a red light for whatever reason, they do make one that has just a red light as well. So I will have links to COAST website in the description below. I will have a link to this light, the Amazon link, if there is one, which I think there is. I'll have that as well. And you guys go check them out and pick one up for yourself. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button. At a minimum, just hit the like button, please. And I would really appreciate it if you guys could leave some comments below saying, you know, how do you like the way I test my lights out here in the dark? Do you think that's a good indication of how the lights are working or how they work? Please let me know in the comments below, because I really want to make sure that these videos are as informative to you as possible. So if you have some good advice, I'm not above constructive criticism. Please leave it in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, helps the channel. And one other thing, stay safe, stay bright, and carry on.